After a few technical difficulties, we're back with tea and things. So as you can see, we're in a new studio. So sometimes, things happen when you have a new home, right? Everybody has new homes and stuff be going wrong, man. Listen. So anyway, we here with my girl Nia.
What's up? We're here. We're back. We gave y'all a little teaser. Now we're back.
Exactly.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and start getting into some things. We got a lot going on. Lord. And they dropped a lot on us today. But I would like to start out with asking everyone to please say prayers for our own ATL. Well, he's from New Orleans, but did his career here in Atlanta. Mr. Shaka Zulu, Ludacris' long-term manager. He was shot on Sunday night, and he has been in the hospital. A couple of surgeries, but I would like us to take a moment of silence and pray for him. Keep him and his family in your prayers.
And we ain't gonna talk too deep because she's about to start crying in like 2
he's
seconds.
a really great, phenomenal person. So not deserved to be where he's at right now. And also, yes,
no, I was just gonna say, it's just very sad that we kind of get into these types of situations as a culture. It really saddens me. Our culture, more than any other culture, I feel in this United States, is just self-sabotagers. Like, you simply just can't move forward because you constantly moving backwards.
Yeah.
And I just really, really hate it. All of the interactions I ever had with him, he was such a good guy. I don't know him personally for sure, like Nia does, but every interaction I've ever had, he's always been welcoming, warm, so incredibly sweet, and such a very, very nice guy. So I just kind of hated that, that's what the situation is for him. So we're definitely praying.
He is a phenomenal person. And I like to say, every platform which has been a lot, that have talked about Shaka's situation has had nothing but wonderful things to say about him and his camp. Like, we just talked about it last week. Luda so well deserved. They represent the A well. They don't cause trouble.
Right. They don't cause trouble. They don't bother nobody.
Nope, not at all. So we'll definitely keep him in our prayers. And also, while we're praying, let's keep Travis Barker in our prayers.
What happened to Travis Barker?
He was not feeling well.
Okay.
He went to the doctor and they rushed him in an ambulance to the hospital.
What?
So Courtney and his kids was by his side, and they are asking for prayers for him as well. They haven't released exactly what's going on with the medical condition, but I do know.
His what?
Pancreatitis.
What? Pancreatitis. Wow, my uncle had that.
Wow, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But it's serious when you go to the doctor, because I've been there and been taken from the doctor's office in an ambulance to a hospital. It's really serious when a doctor.
It's like
when you're under a doctor's care and they call for you to go to the hospital because they feel like that would be a better treatment at that time.
Right, because there's nothing they can do about it. So
we definitely want to keep him in our prayers as well. So
a lot of sadness going on.
Right now. Moving on, we're gonna talk about something a lot happier.
I know, because
a lot. Like, I know.
Up.
I'm like, so this is great news to me because anybody out there know I'm a big Diddy fan.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
The Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh my God, yes. So I think it's so well deserved. I know that there's artists that have said that, he's difficult to work with.
Because he strives for perfection.
That's what I think.
I mean, I don't think he's. I think that if you get with Diddy treats your project like he's the one out on the stage getting ready to perform. So how he would, push himself to execute it properly, and go through all the steps to get the best drum kick, the best hi-hat, the best, kick, the best reverb. He's gonna do the same thing for himself that he would do for you. And that's why he's at the top of his game, and nobody can do it like Puffy. I'm sorry.
I'm with that. I mean, I know that he's had a lot of artists. They say he doesn't, market this. I do know that Diddy wants, he's gonna market for you, but he wants you to go market yourself, which you should.
Right. And which I agree with. He's basically saying, I ain't gonna work harder than you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna work harder for your stuff than you work for your stuff.
I mean, the man has showed success. He's successful.
But you know why I really like Puff Daddy? Why he's like one of my all-time favorites? Because there was nobody who paved the way for him. He made the way for himself.
Yeah,
he didn't have no uncle that was in the industry, or daddy who was an executive somewhere, or his whatever was a lawyer that represented da 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 da. The reason why I like Puff Daddy is because his story is like my story. I'm still grinding, trying to get to the top.
Yeah, he's definitely
he's an inspiration, man.
An inspiration for success. Like, he has definitely climbed his way literally to the top. And we can't take that away from the man. No matter what people want to say, people say he's horrible to work for. I never worked for him, so I don't know.
He seems awesome. Like all of that screaming and carrying on, that's a character.
I mean, the man is a phenomenal dad. He showed that. He
I love the truth.
Came and got his twins, took them to dance, gymnastics. The man, I mean, he even spoke about single parenting because he is one.
Yeah, and I loved how he showed the clip of Kim and really kind of, touched on that. I think it was so touching for how he thanked so many people when he was in a dark place. Like, he thanked everybody that was there for him, but he dedicated everything to his mom. Like he said, without her, there is no him.
That's facts.
And then he thanked God, which I feel like so many people don't do that these days.
Right. Yeah, because we definitely can't do it without him.
No,
we got to wake up every morning.
Of course not.
All right, and then moving on. I thought I was set for today, and then boom, they dropped R. Kelly on us.
What happened to R. Kelly?
He got 30 years.
Oh shit. Wow.
Yeah. He got 30 years. This is one thing that really stood out about the case to me. He got 30 years by a federal judge in New York. But the judge said that this case is not about sex. It's about violence, cruelty, and control. And that's deep.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that.
That's really deep. And I even had a couple of conversations.
I could see that.
After, it went viral, it's said and done on his 30 years. That some people felt like he don't deserve that. They feel like there's worse crimes out here. And I'm like,
nothing is worse than sex trafficking. I mean, that's basically what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean,
well, okay, so my thing is, I think what sort of kind of makes me a little bit upset about the verdict is that the parents are not being charged with anything. And they knowingly and willingly allow their daughters to be subjective to that and not check on them, because I can tell you, I'm not gonna just drop my daughter off with no person that I don't know. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna be with them for no long extended period of time, and I don't know what's going on with you.
Right. That
So I
that
feel
part
like
is true.
I feel like that, that is also considered child abuse. So how is the parent? I mean, you know?
So that's definitely facts. I definitely blame the parents, but from I'm gonna tell you, it's not uncommon. I've seen it. I've been in shock. I couldn't believe it. It's not uncommon for people to go and live with a family or somebody that is established to guide your career. And I'm shocked. I've seen teenagers dropped with people, no sex trafficking or nothing, but dropped with from out of state with people that I'm very close with in the industry, and they're gonna live here, they're gonna do artist development. And so it's not uncommon, but it is a problem when you can't reach your child.
And that's what I'm saying.
I will be going back to get mine.
Right. I'm not saying there's a problem with that part of it. What I'm saying is, at what point do you be like, okay, I couldn't get in touch with my daughter for 3 days? That's a problem.
Yeah.
If I call my child, if I call her on the phone and she at her homegirl house and she don't answer my phone call, you might be coming home.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why you got to call, so that I can get in touch with you and make sure you're good. And if you even remotely sound like something wrong with you, I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
I don't care what who you with.
It's definitely not something that I approve of.
Right.
But we don't know what's the reasons they were telling these parents. Because think about it. Even if you're 15, 13, 12, whatever, you go into a mental hospital or a boarding school, your phone is taken from you. Your contact is cut off. So we don't know if they tell people this is a part of the artist development. We don't know what they're being told. But I can assure you, if you drop your child off at boarding school, you can't just call her when you want. So no child of mine won't be going.
That's what I was getting ready to say. That might be the rules, so that's the reason why I know for a fact my baby won't be there, because you don't want to get me to acting crazy.
Y'all don't want to get Shantae to acting crazy.
That's right.
Speaking of.
Right. Which takes us into our topic for the day.
Speaking of. So, and this topic is really, really, dear to me, because people are so crazy today. Like, they're pulling out a gun and shooting your ass, and that's what it is. So, my question is, and y'all definitely tune in and tell us your thoughts about it, but are you a hothead? When do you walk away? There's these people, and I used to be one, that always got to get the last word. Oh, I'm not going to let somebody say what they want to say to me, or I'm not going to let somebody skip me in the line. Right. I have friends today that's in their 40s, and they're like, oh, no, she skipped me in the self-check line, and I had to check her ass. Why? Is it worth losing your life over somebody skipping you in line over groceries?
Right. So the question becomes, okay, as from the perspective of the person who's not the hothead, right? So you're with a person who is going to lose their cool, whether that cool is at the restaurant because the waitress didn't bring you the right utensil to cut your steak, all the way down to somebody cutting you off in the middle of the road. Like, at what point, as the person who's sitting beside the person who acting the fool, at what point do you say, okay, you know what, that's just too much. I can't deal with that.
And these days, I think we should, like, to your loved ones and people like that, But I'll be honest with you, I'm at a point
in your life, yeah,
because the world is so crazy,
dang crazy,
that I'm not really trying to roll with people that don't know how to act.
right?
Period. Because you got to get the last word, or because you got to act a fool, or I'm
Or
this
they
bad and I'm a product of my environment and this is how I grew up and whatever. No gun can't take me out. Well, damn it, a gun could take me out. So,
And not just that, but somebody who just loses it, like completely lose it. And of course, there's going to be situations, and I'm not saying that you can't never lose it, because people gonna get to you. But I'm saying on a constant basis, is that your nature? Every time we go out, if I'm about to have to clutch my purse and get ready to run, I'm just trying to see. Am I gonna have to clutch my purse? So how many times is too many times? If you go out with this person 5 days a week and they cut up 4 to 5 days, you gonna let them go? Or is it more like, okay, if you cut up twice a week, I'm cool with that. But if you cut up that third time, we ain't going nowhere else.
I'm thinking I prefer not to. I mean, if I can help it, I mean, of course, things happen. But if I know you a person that
Constantly,
if somebody says something to you and you always just got to jump off and you always just got to own the road and drive crazy and curse everybody out on the road, I'm good. Because the thing is, it is 2022 and people are crazy. Turn on the news. Everybody lost their mind.
Everybody.
And I'm not, honestly, things happen. And yes, we have God to look over us, but God also give us a brain to use.
I agree.
And I think that people miss that part. You know what I mean? Like, and that brain to use is, sometimes to just walk the other way.
Turn the other cheek.
Right, because it's not worth it.
So let me ask you, what is worth it? What's worth cutting up one good time on somebody? Do you think anything is worth that? They gotta catch you. Now, when you had your situation with the crazy lady across town, we ain't gonna speak on what it was, but the crazy lady across town that called you, and she was acting crazy on your phone. Remember?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we went.
I'm lost.
Okay, we'll go into it off air. We're going to it off air. I'll remind you.
But I just know that, not that people haven't been crazy, but even with all the COVID, like.
So do you think that's making people stir crazy?
I don't know, but I think people are certainly crazy. I mean, like, and people just turn up for no reason, And I'm not.
Like my French fry was told. Ah!
Yeah, I'm not really trying to be around it. I would just bounce and walk the other way.
That's why you drive a car on a car. So they get to act crazy. You be like, all right then.
and I used to be about it. Hey, I'm from the 504. But when you reach a certain level in your life and a certain age in your life, like that stuff just is not worth it. And I try to tell people, it's like.
So how involved do you get? So if your friend is snapping off, how involved are you gonna get to pull them back off the ledge? You'll be like, all right, girl, it ain't that serious. Oh, come on, girl, let's go ahead.
I mean, I definitely do try to talk to people and tell them, it's really not that serious. It's really, if you really think about it, you're gonna lose your life over a parking spot. Like, is it that serious?
So then, does your friend feel like that you're minimizing how they feel?
Well, no, I've had friends that have grown women
right
that have told me, nah, I'm not that person. I'm not gonna let somebody just disrespect me or play me over a parking spot. You can have it.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though. Long time ago, I did have a situation with a parking spot where I got pissed off, but I was 18.
But that was a long time ago. We're talking now, 2022. People are pulling out guns and killing you.
Right, 18 years old.
Period.
Yeah, you might have been able to jump off, but 40, years old? I don't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, people are pulling out guns and it's serious. And, if you love your family and your friends and your loved ones and your could be crazy man or whatever, I would try to have a conversation. I certainly try to have a conversation with my friends and my family. Right. Just letting them know, like
what,
who cares? You're never going to see this person again in your life. And everybody gets to that point where they slip up, I mean, but is it worth it?
So do you try to have the conversation in the moment? Or
you can't have the conversation in the moment.
Right. You be like, okay, let me talk. Let me holler at you over here.
So you can't, that's the thing. You can't have the conversation in the moment when people are losing it. Like, you can't even have a conversation with me in a moment if I'm losing it. But these are conversations I have with my family, friends, and loved ones.
After the fact.
Before the fact. These are constant conversations I have with my family.
Man, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, I constantly tell my nephews, because my nephews, they drive fast race cars, Yeah. And I constantly tell them, if somebody try to take your car,
just let them have it.
Just let them have it. But hopefully, when you have a family member that's a hothead and crazy, and you got to tell them, you talk crazy. Your mouth is mad disrespectful, but you can't run it like that in the streets, period.
And not only that, even if you don't lose your life, you could get locked up. And is it worth that?
It's worth none of that.
Because sometimes they get you in that system and you ain't getting out.
It's worth none of that. But at the end of the day,
especially our Black boys,
today is
and we're not saying don't stand up for yourself, don't be this docile individual. We're not saying any of that.
I'm saying it's okay to walk away. Right. I mean, of course, if somebody come up and fucking Will Smith you know what I mean?
Will Smith you.
Yeah, you're probably gonna
Will Smith you.
You're probably gonna want to hit back, but at the end of the day, you just got to think about your life and yourself and your kids and your loved ones and your family. And no, it's okay to just walk away. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I've ran into, crazy people, and I'm just like, whatever,
Yeah.
Because you could get in a big altercation with somebody in a place, and they could be waiting for you in the parking lot with a gun. I mean, that's how crazy the world is.
And I will say, I will admit, at times people will push you that will make you feel like you want to just straight up snap. So I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't get mad easily, but there are some things that do take me from 0 to 100, and I have to really try to control myself.
Yeah.
Really, I remember one time I was in the parking lot and I was walking back to my car, right? And this person was coming out of the parking spot and they hit my car while I was walking up to my car. And I was so mad because guess what? They kept going.
Yeah. That'll piss anybody off.
Well, I got in my car and I chased them. And then when I got halfway down the road, I was like, what am I doing? Because by the time I catch them, if I catch them, what am I going to do?
Right.
I'm not going to do anything. So I was so mad, though. I literally chased them I chased them for at least 5 miles. Before I came to my senses, oh, I'm tripping. They taking me back to their house. They about to kill me. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me go back home.
Yeah. And that's probably to cool down and think it through.
Yeah, because I went back to the parking lot and looked at my car. There was no bump, no scratch, no nothing.
But I normally try to, I talk to my nephews. They both drive really fast race cars. Always let them know, and as well, not just the guys in my family, females too. I'm always like, oh, if somebody try to take your car, and that's the same that goes for me, somebody try to take your car, like, just give it up, you
Yeah,
could
well,
always get another one.
but like I said, it's sometimes in the moment it's kind of hard because I remember one time another one of my family members, their purse got snatched in the parking lot, and this person chased the person into the woods or into like a apartment complex, I think it was, and then they eventually they stopped and said, "What am I doing?"
Right. And that's normally your adrenaline. So that's why I feel like when the person is in the heat of the moment, there's nothing you could do. But these are conversations, especially if you have a hothead or whatever, these are conversations you have when people are just calm.
And so because you bring it up in what kind of way? So what are some healthy ways to try to address that person?
I just talk to people. I just, like, hey girl, I know you stand your ground. I know you can pop up, but the world is super crazy now.
Right.
And people are going to, they could pull out a gun, it's okay. It's cool to just walk the other way. Right. Yeah, like you my people. I want you around, Yeah. I know this how you do it and how you kick it, but
right. It's okay to walk away sometimes.
Yeah. And I think when you have those conversations with people
more often,
and when they're cool,
right,
and not crazy, that maybe when crazy kick in, it might be like
the little voice in the back of your head.
Right. Because I guarantee you that I cannot tell you, as much as I fly, that what they're telling me to do with my seat, if I land in water, but I bet you I would know how to do it. Because that voice that's in the back of the back of the head, because they so calmly say it all the time.
Like,
I bet y'all know what to do.
I'm gonna pull my mask down.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, but it's in my subconscious mind that it's gonna click, it'll click in.
Right. That's kind of like, when you're growing up, your parents instill things in you. They instill things in you. And those are the things that you do on a regular, but you don't realize that you're doing them because somebody has kind of ingrained that in you.
Yeah. True.
Like when I was watching P Valley, guys. I finally got P Valley.
Yay! Shantae's on, yo.
I finally got P Valley. But anyway, in one of the episodes, the guy was reminiscing about what his godfather was saying to him, and he was telling him he was a king, and he was instilling that in him from a young child. So just things like that, when people have those like inner boosts, that's where it comes from. You may not remember it, but subconsciously you do. I always tell my daughter, "Hey baby, hey beautiful, how you doing, sweet girl? You so beautiful." I tell her that all the time because I don't ever want her to think that she's less than that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true. So you don't have to wait till somebody's like in the heat of the moment. If you got a hothead in your family or whatever, I got plenty. Oh, so I'm constantly having these conversations, but you know what? I could be a hothead. So my aunt, she constantly have conversations with me, and that's
good.
And when it's if something pop off, I'm
black love.
Like I'm kind of like
love it.
I'm moving.
Yes.
I'm good. Because it's not worth it at the end of the day.
No,
at all. And it is 2022. Nobody's pulling out brass knuckles to fight you. They are shooting your ass. And that's what's happening. Period.
Yeah.
Period. So
that's our time, but I did want to speak on one thing. So a lot of people have seen the news and all of these different laws and things that are being overturned by the Supreme Justice, right? Don't know where you stand, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. What I'm concerned with is that we always voice our right to vote, because that is the only way that we can make change. And unfortunately, there were different things that transpired many years ago when people weren't very aware of what was going on and weren't exercising their rights to vote. That's one of the things that our ancestors fought for. And I just feel that as a community, we need to speak more and more and more about the right to vote, because we want to make sure that our voices are heard no matter what the case may be, no matter which way you decide to vote, as long as you get out there and do it.
Take it back to Diddy. He hit us right in the forehead with it. Remember? Vote or die.
Vote or die.
That's what he said. All right. Well, Shantae, you're going to break us off with a 5-minute tip of the day?
I am, actually. So, guys, the 4th of July is coming around, right? And you like to eat during those barbecues, but make sure that you don't overdo it, because as you know, overeating creates sluggishness for the brain, the body, and the soul. So indulge, but not overindulge, because of course we want you to always be as healthy as possible, because we want you around.
All right. Well, that's a good 5-minute tip, because I had plans on overeating and laying on my sofa and watching my shows. So now I'll go swimming and eat less now.
This has been another episode of Tea and Things. Remember, you can always comment or send us your topics. You know, if you want to come and hang out with us, let us know. We can always put you on the screen and you can talk along with us and we can have a bunch of fun. So, guys, we love you and thank you so much for always tuning in. All 8 of you. We love you.
We're on 2 platforms.
We're on 2 platforms.
3 platforms. So
yeah, we love you.
We haven't calculated all yet. And remember,
you
you can always catch your
replay
at YouTube, Tea and Things.
Yep.
And you can catch us live there also.
That's right.
So we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace. I'm out.
Peace.